Have you ever wanted something so badly that you'd risk everything? Your family, your reputation, even your life? Just to be with the one you love? That's exactly what the characters in these top 10 best Chinese historical romantic dramas in 2025 are willing to do. Cross-cultural romance between tribal leaders and noble families. False identities that blur the line between lies and love. Even the barrier between life and death isn't strong enough to keep these couples apart. These top 10 historical romance Chinese drama released in 2025 bring heart-wrenching stories of love, betrayal, and sacrifice. Whether it's a prince disguising himself as a commoner to find true love, or a warrior princess torn between duty and passion, these Chinese romantic historical dramas will take you on an emotional journey. Which top 10 Chinese historical romantic dramas released in 2025 will capture your heart this year? Number 10. Stolen Love. First on our list is Stolen Love, a heart-wrenching romantic historical Chinese drama filled with betrayal and forbidden passion. The drama follows a young general who finds himself falsely accused of treason and exiled to the distant border regions. Before his sudden downfall, he had just married an orphaned woman who brought light to his disciplined military life. Their newfound happiness is cruelly interrupted when duty and deception tear them apart. When the general finally returns years later, he discovers the ultimate betrayal. His beloved wife has been married off to his cousin. This creates not just a love triangle, but a tangled web that threatens to unravel family ties and violate deeply held social codes of honor. The characters are pulled between upholding family loyalty and pursuing the undeniable connection that fate originally brought together. Stolen Love brilliantly uses the general's exile and the false accusations against him to represent how society creates barriers between people who genuinely love each other. This Chinese drama forces its characters to make impossible choices between duty and desire, between family obligation and personal happiness. Number 9. Les Belles. Speaking of society's cruel barriers, what could be more devastating than watching your entire family's status vanish overnight? In Les Belles, a gripping Chinese ancient romance drama, we witness how bankruptcy in ancient China didn't just mean losing wealth. It meant losing your entire identity and future prospects. The drama centers on Lu Yun, a noble girl whose family's financial collapse forces her to seek refuge in circumstances that dramatically alter her marriage prospects. What makes this story particularly compelling is how Lu Yun's initial encounters with the Lu family's third son are marked by hostility and misunderstanding. Their early conflicts perfectly illustrate the class divisions that permeate their world, with costumes and settings visually reinforcing the power imbalance between them. As Lu Lingu begins to recognize Lu Yun's talents, their growing attraction develops against a backdrop of societal expectations that deem their connection inappropriate. Les Belles cleverly uses its February 2025 release to examine how quickly fortunes could change in imperial China. The bankruptcy storyline shows how a noble daughter could transform from a prized match into someone barely worthy of service, creating a fascinating backdrop for a romantic drama that challenges the rigid hierarchies of their time. Number 8. Everlasting Longing. Imagine crossing not just class barriers but entire cultural worlds. In Everlasting Longing, a romance historical drama 2025 premiering in January on Tencent Video, we follow the Cjin family's eldest daughter, who defies convention by embarking on what should be a routine business trip, a journey that would typically require male guardianship in ancient China. Instead, this independent woman encounters the charismatic leader of the Shan tribe, igniting an immediate attraction that challenges centuries of separation. Their love story unfolds against a backdrop of stark cultural contrasts. The Shan tribe's traditions and customs stand in deliberate opposition to the Cjin family's way of life, creating not just personal obstacles, but reflecting broader societal fears of the other that permeated historical Chinese society. Their relationship becomes more than just a romance. It transforms into a powerful narrative device examining deep-rooted cultural prejudices. What makes this romance historical drama 2025 particularly compelling is how it portrays one of history's most taboo relationships. While social classes could sometimes be transcended through wealth or achievement, tribal boundaries were designed to maintain permanent separation. Yet everlasting longing promises to show us how genuine connection can withstand these external pressures, ultimately leading to a marriage that defies a world determined to keep them apart. Number 7. Fight for love. In a world where men wield all the power, would you sacrifice your very identity to survive? When a devastating battlefield defeat leaves the Wei family with only their youngest son, one woman makes precisely this choice. Fight for Love, a gripping Chinese romance costume drama, introduces us to Chu Yu, who takes an extraordinary step, disguising herself as her deceased brother's widow to marry into the powerful Wei family, knowing discovery means certain death. What begins as a desperate survival strategy becomes increasingly complicated as Wei Yun, initially suspicious of his new family member, finds himself drawn to her quick thinking and resilience. Their developing bond exists in constant peril, with every shared moment shadowed by her necessary deception. This Chinese costume drama brilliantly examines how women in ancient China sometimes had to assume male identities, not as an adventure, but as their only path to security. The emotional stakes soar as we watch Chu Yu navigate her double life, while genuine feelings develop between her and Wei Yun. Stars Ding Yuxi and Victoria Song bring these complex characters to life, portraying the internal struggles of individuals trapped between truth and survival. Their performances explore the profound question at the heart of this story: can authentic love emerge from necessary lies? Number 6. Love Beyond the Grave. If you thought identity deception was challenging, what about falling in love with someone who exists in an entirely different realm of reality? Love Beyond the Grave, a mesmerizing Chinese wuxia romantic drama, introduces us to an extraordinary supernatural romance between a 400-year-old female ghost master and a living major general, creating the ultimate forbidden connection. Their unlikely relationship begins with a broken imaginary sword that serves as more than just a plot device. It catalyzes an exchange of 5 senses between them, binding these beings from separate worlds together. This Chinese wuxia drama, starring Dilraba Dilmurat and Arthur Chen, doesn't just cross social boundaries, it defies the fundamental laws of existence. The supernatural elements draw from traditional Chinese mythology, where female ghost masters often possess unique powers that bridge the spiritual and living realms. Their contract to maintain peace between these worlds becomes a powerful metaphor for relationships that demand profound compromises. What makes this story truly compelling is how it transforms Chinese ghost lore into a meditation on connection. Can love truly transcend not just the barriers of class, culture, or identity, but the very boundary between life and death itself? Number 5. Perfect Match. Beyond supernatural boundaries lies another kind of forbidden connection, one orchestrated not by fate, but by a mother's determination. Perfect Match, a romantic historical Chinese drama, introduces us to Mrs. Li, a wealthy widow who makes the bold decision to move her family to the city with one clear mission: finding husbands who will truly make her daughters happy, not just advance family connections. In historical China, matchmaking wasn't simply about pairing people. It was an intricate social system where family honor, lineage, and financial considerations outweighed individual happiness. What makes this January 2025 Netflix release particularly fascinating is how it showcases mothers as unlikely revolutionaries within this rigid system. Despite her daughter's exceptional qualities, Mrs. Li discovers that beauty and talent alone cannot overcome the complex social negotiations that dominated the marriage market. This romantic historical Chinese drama delves into the behind-the-scenes maneuvering that wealthy families employed, revealing how maternal figures like Mrs. Li quietly subverted patriarchal expectations through strategic matchmaking. Rather than accepting that her daughters were merely bargaining chips for advantageous alliances, Mrs. Li leverages her social connections and status to create opportunities for genuine connection. a radical act in a society where women's choices were virtually non-existent. Number 4. Serendipity. If strategic matchmaking was one method of navigating social constraints, serendipity presents a far more dramatic solution: complete identity erasure. In this highly anticipated upcoming historical romantic drama, a princess from the Cjin family experiences a life-altering fall from a cliff, resulting in total amnesia. This tragic accident creates a unique opportunity for love to flourish without the weight of her royal identity, a blank slate where societal barriers suddenly disappear. What makes this story particularly compelling is the forbidden journey that follows. In ancient imperial China, women were strictly prohibited from taking the imperial examinations, a system designed exclusively for men to enter government service. Yet, after the princess's family faces extermination, her devoted lover helps her escape, embarking on the dangerous path to Beijing with this seemingly impossible goal. Wang Ziqi and Lua bring depth to these complex characters as they navigate not only external threats, but also the internal struggle of rediscovering identity. Their journey serves as a powerful metaphor for the extreme measures couples in restrictive societies sometimes took to pursue both love and personal ambition. Every mile traveled tests their bond while simultaneously strengthening it, making Serendipity one of the most emotionally gripping upcoming historical romantic dramas of 2025. Number 3. A Dream Within a Dream. While previous dramas explored forbidden loves through social barriers, A Dream Within a Dream takes the concept to an entirely metaphysical level. What if the greatest obstacle to your romance isn't just society's rules, but the very fabric of reality itself? This mind-bending historical romance drama presents a woman who accidentally breaches the boundary between worlds, becoming trapped inside a script where she's destined for tragedy. The protagonist discovers that her every attempt to alter her fate is mysteriously thwarted by the narrative structure itself. Each time she tries to avoid her predetermined suffering or pursue happiness with her forbidden love, the script's internal logic redirects her journey back toward its tragic conclusion. It's as if the universe itself conspires against her happiness. This historical romance drama brilliantly examines the philosophical tension between free will and destiny in relationships. Are we truly making choices in love, or simply acting out predetermined roles? The characters' desperate struggle against their scripted destinies represents a profound rebellion against not just social expectations, but against reality's fundamental rules. The confined world within the script visualizes these limitations brilliantly, creating stark contrasts between the scripted reality and the protagonist's awareness of another possible existence. Her fight to rewrite her own ending transforms into a powerful metaphor for anyone who's ever felt trapped by circumstances beyond their control. Number 2. Flourished peie. From characters trapped in scripts to women confined by social expectations, Flourished peie introduces us to a remarkable female entrepreneur whose expertise in cultivating China's most revered flower challenges the deeply entrenched gender norms of ancient China. This merchant's daughter doesn't just grow peonies as a casual hobby, she's mastered an economically significant trade traditionally dominated by men. Her exceptional talent catches the attention of a government official who recognizes her skills' commercial potential. Together, they establish a thriving flower shop business in an era when women's participation in specialized commerce was heavily restricted. What begins as a professional collaboration gradually transforms as they nurture both delicate blooms and a growing attraction. The peony cultivation serves as a beautiful visual metaphor throughout. Like their relationship, these prestigious flowers require attentive care, patience, and precisely the right conditions to flourish. As their business partnership deepens into romantic territory, both characters find themselves navigating dangerous waters in a society where such interactions between a merchant woman and a government official were strictly regulated. Starring Lei San and Yang Zi, this Best Chinese Historical Romance Drama 2025 promises to show viewers how shared passion and mutual professional respect can create an unshakable foundation for love. Their story beautifully illustrates how genuine connection can transcend rigid societal boundaries when two people recognize and value each other's talents beyond the limitations of their prescribed roles. With its compelling characters and rich period details, Flourished Peony is set to be one of the most anticipated historical dramas of 2025. Number 1. Cjin. What happens when love transcends death itself? Cjin elevates the concept of forbidden romance to supernatural heights, featuring the fourth princess of Dongping Bo Mansion, who returns through reincarnation after suffering the ultimate betrayal, being murdered by her own lover. In her second life, she faces an extraordinary dilemma that few could imagine: whether to exact revenge on the man who once took her life or attempt to rewrite their tragic history. This new Chinese romantic historical drama delves into emotional territory far beyond conventional love stories. Rather than just navigating social disapproval, these characters must overcome the memory of literal betrayal and death. Their journey poses a profound question: can love truly heal wounds that run soul deep? What makes this Chinese drama particularly compelling is the characters' eventual decision to collaborate in changing their shared destiny. This choice represents an extraordinary emotional evolution, choosing potential happiness with someone who once caused immeasurable pain. Starring Zhang Wanyi and Jing Tian, Cjin is set to be one of the most gripping love stories of March 2025, bringing together themes of fate, redemption, and second chances in an unforgettable supernatural romance. These 10 enchanting dramas showcase why forbidden romance continues to captivate audiences across generations. Viewer engagement statistics reveal that the top 10 Chinese historical romance dramas released in 2025 have garnered a particularly strong following among women aged 18 to 35, who connect deeply with the emotional journeys and character growth these narratives provide. This demographic appreciates how these stories portray resilience and love, overcoming seemingly impossible obstacles, themes that resonate with modern viewers navigating their own relationship challenges. What's fascinating is how the best Chinese historical romantic dramas of 2025 create a safe space to explore universal emotional truths. Critical reception patterns consistently show that character-driven stories featuring forbidden love receive higher ratings and greater viewer satisfaction. These narratives aren't just entertainment. They reflect our fundamental desire for authentic connection in a world that often places barriers between us. Which of these forbidden love stories speaks to you? Are you drawn to star-crossed lovers separated by social class, cultural divides, or supernatural boundaries? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's build a community around these incredible upcoming dramas. Don't forget to subscribe for more exclusive previews of the most anticipated Chinese historical romance dramas released in 2025.